Back in the old days, we really only had two umbrellas that designers fell into: graphic design or web design. Now, so many. As technology evolved, all the terms for designers came about, and now it's really confusing if you don't know the differences. What's even more confusing is that a lot of them kind of overlap. In this video, I'm going to go over the different types of designers you see out there, and this will especially help you if you're looking for a job, what type of job to look for, and where you fit in the best. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, it's Design Gal Christine Maggi. Thanks for checking out this video. Really hope this helps clear some things up for you, so let's get started. Now, I already did a video on graphic design versus UI, UX design, which I will link below, but a high-level overview is that traditional graphic design typically deals with print, advertising, logo design, business collateral, etc. We're not going to go over that much today. We're going to focus on the more digital designer terms. First, I'm going to cover web design, which is also sometimes referred to as interactive design. Web designers specifically deal with designing for the web, and usually means responsive web design as well. Typically, a web designer or interactive designer does not create mobile apps, software, or digital products. Now, something that's kind of confusing is that this can also be known as interaction design, but in my opinion, those are two slightly different things. Where interactive design, you're working on, like I said, a website, interaction design sometimes means you're dealing with the specific micro interactions that a user may make, say, on an app. So, for example, they might decide what happens when the user hits that button on the app. Maybe it grows, maybe it moves in some sort of way, maybe the shadow expands and then contracts. Those types of subtle animations are typically very focused on the actual interaction. But in most cases, interaction, interactive, web usually mean the same kind of thing. Now let's move on to visual design. Visual design is similar to graphic design, and it may even include graphic design in a job, but it typically focuses purely on the design direction of an app, a website, product, or software. A visual designer may or may not design full design comps, but they will definitely design color palettes, typography styles, button styles, the design of repeatable components, say in a website or an app. They are also sometimes responsible for creating a style guide. And a style guide is what a UX designer or a developer can use to go off to build out the rest of the design. An easy way to think about visual design is that you're basically a graphic designer, but for digital products. Now let's move on to the more popular ones you're seeing out there today: UX and UI. I'll start with UX. UX stands for User Experience Design, and unlike any design that has a visual component, UX designers are purely focused on the actual experience that the user is going to have with the product. They're not concerned with colors, typography, anything like that. They want to make sure the user can navigate the product or the website or the app. They can find what they're looking for easily. They enjoy using the product. And ultimately, they want to make sure that the user is able to meet their specific goals as well as achieve the business goals of the product. UX designers typically create things like information architecture, user personas, and do a lot of user testing, refining and iterating their wireframes, for example. Those things fall under UX, no visual design whatsoever. Now, when we talk about UI design, that's something a little bit different. UI design stands for User Interface Design. And like it sounds, you are designing the actual interface of the product. UI designers are not graphic designers because they deal with an interface. Even though technically a piece of paper kind of is an interface, that's not what they deal with at all. UI designers are purely for digital design. In bigger companies, UX and UI are typically separate roles. So the UI designer will take the wireframes and other deliverables made by the UX designer and put that visual varnish right on top of it. Or they can take the direction from the visual designer and apply that to the product. Once again, the UI designer strictly designs that top visual layer of the product, not what's underneath, and no graphic design. Now, if you're in a smaller company, sometimes UX and UI roles are combined. So you'll see a lot of job postings for UX, UI, or a combination UX, UI. If you're hired to do UX and UI, you're doing all the research and the planning, as well as the visuals that go on top of it. This brings me to my last one to go over, product design. Now, product design is similar to a combined UI UX role, but you have more control and more direction over the entire project. You typically have other designers working beneath you. You may have separate UX designers and UI designers underneath you. and you're really driving the vision for the product. It's more of a management role than a direct hands-on role in some cases. You'll be meeting with stakeholders, you'll be gathering requirements, and really directing the direction of the product. It is a little bit similar to a project manager, but a product manager specifically is about the product, not a project. Woo! That was a lot. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I hope this helps you clear some things up. If you have any questions or need me to clarify anything else, please leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. It seems like the UI UX topics are a little more popular on my channel, so I'll definitely be doing more videos like this in the future. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stick around for the next one. Thanks.